Hi friends, don't forget that next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, July 16th, for 3 days, I'm going to put the links below, is the Miami Pen Show. Pen Show? Why would you want to go to a pen show? It's kind of hard to explain a pen show. I had a client once that had a great signature, and I commented on his signature. And just one thing led to another in the discussion, and he carried a fountain pen. Now hold on one second, I'll show you what I carry in my pocket on a daily basis. Just a gel pen, regular gel pen, fine point, and then of course one of these, because I'm always taking multicolored notes and writing in my books and taking notes that are color-coded, priority and stuff like that. So this is just part of my everyday carry as far as my pens are concerned. This guy had a fountain pen, and I'm like, what's with the fountain pen? And I wanted to be a smart ass, and I wanted to say, like, what's with the fountain pen, Alexander Hamilton? And that started me looking into fountain pens. He says, hey, try getting one first. Like, go on Amazon and get a Jinhao. You can get them for $10 and whatever. And I'm like, okay. I didn't even know what a nib was at that point. So he says, oh, and then there's these pen shows. What the heck is a pen show? I went to the Philadelphia Pen Show. Sometimes you get bit by a bug. Like, I got bit by the Civil War bug, World War II bug, last year the World War I bug, the Bolshevik Revolution bug. And you just want to study everything you possibly can in those areas. Well, I went to a pen show. I had no idea what to expect. I took the train into town. I had the best time in the world, and I met the coolest people. And I did not know I was going to do a video. I've done 2 documentaries, cell phone documentaries on fountain pens, pen shows, the people that collect them. It was amazing. I literally thought I was going to go to a pen show for like 45 minutes, go in, browse the tables, maybe buy a pen and a pad of paper or something like that. It was a whole day, and I got to know people like you wouldn't believe. And the networking was amazing. The Miami Pen Show is coming up. I am unable to travel out of the area for the next 2 weeks. Otherwise, I would be there and I would meet you there. If you live in the Miami area or within driving distance, I would recommend going to the pen show. Go early in the morning. Network. Just network. Do everything slow. Do it slow. This is not like a flea market. People that you could meet there are some of the most interesting people you will ever meet. Business connections, networking connections. You're going to walk away with friends. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to put down below a link to my cell phone documentaries that I did. You're going to love them. You are going to love them. First one I did was called People of the Pen. Like, who goes to a pen show? My thing was I just wanted to talk to various vendors. Like, I don't get this whole pen thing. Like, there's a world that revolves around pens. Like, I got 2 pens in my pocket. All right? That's it. To me, that's like a pen. I get up in the morning. I have like a money clip, a chapstick, my pens, a clip knife. That's it. That's kind of like what I have. There's a whole world that revolves around fountain pens, inks, nibs, paper. Like, since then, I'll tell you what, I've gotten a 100-year-old fountain pen. Since then, I got 100-year-old journal paper. Yeah, I got bit pretty hard. You're going to want to go to this Miami Pen Show. You're going to want to look for Ralph. Watch the documentary. You want to look for Ralph. You want to look for Lisa. And you'll see them in the documentaries. You're going to want to look for Nick. You're going to want to look for Pierre. You're going to want to look for Bert, who is the organizer of the pen show, who has Bertram's Inkwell in the Baltimore area. He has, the last I knew, he has 2 pen shows, the Philadelphia Pen Show and the Miami Pen Show. You cannot go wrong. When I went to the one in D.C., I ended up staying at the hotel where the pen show was. So I didn't have to, it was a 3-hour drive for me. And I didn't want to rush around. I had dinner. If I went to the Miami Pen Show, I would be probably knowing at least 20 people there, just from me having gone to other pen shows, having done the videos. Take my word for it. If you are on the fence about pens, fountain pens, old pens, it's not just like antique pens. It's people that create pens, people that are into ink, vendors that sell ink, journalists, companies that have great paper, great journals. Just take my word for it. If you're in the Miami area, or if you want to fly to Miami, or whatever, I'm going to put the link for the show below. When you get a chance to say hi to Bert from Bertram's Inkwell, tell him I said hi. I regret not being able to go. Pen shows aren't just about pens. It's about the people. It's about the collectors. It's about the personalities. If you learned anything from me, you appreciate all those things. I wish I could say, meet me at the pen show. The pen show that was in D.C., I just had like a little meetup, and a whole bunch of subscribers met, and we had a meetup, and we had dinner that night, later that night. And it was really cool, really cool. Go to the Miami Pen Show if you can. You won't regret it. Branch out a little bit. Do something a little bit different. You'll have a good time. You will.
Okay.
I was directed to Michael McGettigan by the folks at PhiladelphiaPens.com, and I had heard that there is a pub night or a pub.
Yeah. Oh, we call it pub letters. Pub letters, yes. It's basically instead of going to a bar and staring down into a cell phone and your face turns blue, instead you can come to a pub and stare down onto a piece of paper or a letter or a postcard, which I find doesn't close people off the way that a phone does. And it gives you something to do instead of just sitting there drinking a beer. You can drink a beer and write a letter. My theory is that anybody can write a good letter in a space of 1 drink, maybe 2 drinks. 3 drinks and it might get maudlin, but 2 drinks you can usually bang out a good letter. And we bring everything that people need to write a letter. We bring I show up with a Samsonite slimline briefcase full of stationery, stamps, envelopes. We bring a cheat sheet with the mailing addresses for the Pope, Sonny Rollins, Tig Notaro, Justin Trudeau, the Screaming Females, Benedict Cumberbatch, and a host of others. And then people sometimes write them love letters. We have some politicians who get hate letters. And when we're all done, we usually go from about 7 to about 9. I bundle everything up and I drop it off in the mailbox on the way home. We got sponsorship from Yards Brewing was helping us out, and also Trophy Bikes. I'm one of the people associated with Trophy Bikes. In past lives, I've been a reporter, and I know that one of the things that really helps historians and so on is actual written evidence. I don't know where emails are going and texts. Most of them just disappear. But I have gone to flea markets or opened up a book, and a 100-year-old letter falls out. And as a result of that, when we do pub letters, we do ask everybody to put Philadelphia and the date at the top of the letter, to give future historians a clue, or future flea marketers, whoever, So Pub Letters is always on Tuesday night. It goes to a different Philadelphia bar every month. So next month it's going to be at the Standard Tap in Northern Liberties. The month after that it's going to be at McNally's in Chestnut Hill, and so on. You can always find it by going to publetters.com, or just go follow Pub Letters on Instagram or Twitter. We're not Luddites. We believe in letters, but we also believe in technology and so on. But to me, an email, nobody goes, oh boy, I got an email. But now, thanks to the way society has changed, people go, wow, I got a letter. And I think that's interesting. It's been stood on its head. When I am pretty old, and I remember getting emails and go, oh my gosh, I got an email. Nobody says that now. Right. People go, oh my gosh, I got 600 emails. But if you send someone a real ink on paper letter, it sticks around. So that's the thinking behind Pub Letters. And it especially overlaps with all these pen people, because it gives you another chance to air out your pen in a way that people always did. Back in the days, New York, Philadelphia, and London used to have a morning, midday, and afternoon postal deliveries.
Yes.
And I feel like now some of the Pub Letters, we just bring postcards, and some of the people only write 2 lines. But that's 2 lines more than they would have written. And I hate coming into a bar and seeing everybody staring at their phone. Or worse, you go into a cafe and they're all staring at laptops. I think somehow when people are writing letters, they go to each other, hey, what are you working on, and so on. And one of my favorite things to happen in a Pub Letters is you'll see a couple, and they're actually writing letters to each other. And you'll see them sort of shielding the letter, they fold it up, and it's just, and they hand in the letters, they have the same address, and I realize they're writing to each other.
What possessed you to start something like this?
I was on my second pint of Yard's IPA at Doobie's Bar, and Patty Doobie, the owner, tremendous David Bowie fan, she has a kind of wild approach to life, and we were both complaining about how people are looking at their phones, nobody writes letters anymore, and I was like, well, why don't people write letters in bars? And then bar letters, this and that. I got on my phone, and publetters.com was not registered. So I registered publetters.com, so a smartphone helped me make up Pub Letters. There was one guy that registered pub-letters. He makes signs for bars in England. So he hyphenated it, but I got Pub Letters in one piece, and I said, oh my God, now I own publetters.com. What are we going to do? I came up with the context and how we would do the things, and we sort of tried it at Doobie's, then I tried it at another bar, and in 2016 we did Pub Letters every single month, and we got a Best of Philly mag, and we got written up and so on, and it's starting to get legs. This year I'm going to take the idea to the U.S. Postal Service. And I'm talking to some ad firms, and we're going to try and develop it further. And I really think it shouldn't just be happening in Philly; it can happen elsewhere. But I think for that to happen and not just, I don't want it to be like Pub Letters wet T-shirt night. I want it to be like Pub Letters brought to you by something. So I'm going to talk to the post office. Talking to Yards Brewing to see what they can do, and I really think it'd be great if you went to a bar in some other city and boom, you knew every Tuesday night was Pub Letters night.
I have a variety show that I do every morning, and it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay. And since I fell down this rabbit hole, what I learned was that pen shows aren't just about pens, it's about people. And it's been an exciting experience here, interviewing a lot of people, meeting a lot of people, and I think I'm going to actually end up at the Baltimore show when it's all said and done next month. When I went over to the table over there, PhiladelphiaPens.com, they directed me to you, and life is so much richer when you get to know people more than you get to know things. That's what I have found.
These things, and if there's anything that connects people directly, it's marks on paper.
Yes.
It's something that we learned how to do really early, and when we created civilization. And it was and originally, it was scribes. The king said to a scribe, tell them I want 300 oxen, and then it went to another scribe who read it to the king, because the kings couldn't be bothered with learning to write. But once we started to put stuff in envelopes, that's when it became personal. And it's much more personal than the stuff we send on email, which is, it's not only is it just out in the open, it's like guaranteed to be read and exploited for some miserable commercial purpose. Mm-hmm. And I guess someone could open my email and try and sell me something based on it, but it would take them forever. And that's what I love, is that you have this little package created by the that's handled by the U.S. government, not to spy on you, but to get your stuff somewhere in a little sealed package, and then someone else opens it up, and there's these marks you made on paper that might probably mean nothing to anybody else but you and them. And at a time when everything's trying to be big, 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 anything that can be small, just go dot to dot, and that's the thing here. Is some people I see only at the pen show. I've seen them 5 times, and I've only seen them at the pen show. And that's what's kind of astonishing. There's also a guy comes and he's 20. We have a birthday book over there.
Yeah.
You find your date in the book and you write your autograph on that day. That was something the Victorians did. You found a calendar and you wrote your autograph, and people collected them. This guy came here, he's 20 years old. His name, all I know is he's a bite messenger from New York. He has a beautiful half graffiti, half autograph signature, Dane, and he's 20 years old. He has an awesome fountain pen, he has an awesome marker, and he has an awesome signature, much better than mine. So I'm going, okay, this pen thing's in good hands. It's not going to stop, it's coming back. And when you have someone 20 years old that's into this stuff, I go, wow, cool,
Pens outlive us, letters outlive us. We're just merely stewards of these tools.
Yep. Yeah.
I look forward to getting to know you, and also the pub letters.
Just go to Pub Letters on Instagram or Twitter. Go to publetters.com. It's always on a Tuesday. It's always at a congenial bar, and it's always free. Yep.
Michael McGettigan.
Hey, see you out there. Write some letters wherever you are.